Welcome, everybody, to another presentation of the Basketball Queensland QBL 2019 season, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and supported by the Australian Sports Network. I'm John Guana, and today I'm joined by Regan Baker and Dave Derwin. We've got an exciting doubleheader for you as the Gold Coast Rollers travel up the M1 to take on the Brisbane Capitals here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. Dave, both teams coming off of really successful round one. These two games should be very, very exciting. We're going to start off with the men, though. Gold Coast come in 2-0. Brisbane had that double overtime win that we brought to you last week. This should be a cracking game. Yeah, well, the Caps are flipping the script with the men kicking off early, so that's thrown some of us. But early start here, looking forward to a really exciting game. Gold Coast got a couple of good wins, couple of tough wins too, against some good opposition in Mackay and Spartans. And Brisbane was pretty special last week. Magnay and Kadee, that's him. Yes. They were pretty handy. Yeah, and Gold Coast comes in, as usual, with a really impressive lineup. It's a different team than what we saw last season, but the talent level hasn't dropped a bit. This is a really impressive roster that Mick Conlin's put together, and to get 2 wins in the opening round for them, I think, goes a really long way for this Gold Coast team. Yeah, they've had a talented groups the last few years, and I think they've kind of underachieved a little bit. So this year, I think, is the year where they really want to try and to take a step forward. They've got a couple of great NBL vets. We haven't seen the imports, obviously. TJ Diop is a solid player, and they've got a bit of bench action. Jared Eustace decided to head down to catch some waves. And Salicic is there as well, so that's a pretty nice 7 they've got. Yeah, they're very deep, very talented. You mentioned some of the NBL veterans they've got. They've got Reese Martin, and they've got Anthony Petrie. Having guys in the lineup like that is going to go a long way. This team wants to win a championship. Where do you see their championship credentials in 2019? Well, I'll give you a better guess in about an hour and a half, but this is a good test for them because, as I said, I think they've had talent the last couple of years, and they just haven't been able to get it done. So it'll be really interesting to see how they go tonight. I think they're a pretty methodical, intelligent group. You know, they'll probably have some good poise. They're not going to play at a breakneck speed, I would imagine. So I think that's how they want to play. And it'd be interesting to see how that marries in with Brisbane's pace. We're just going to pause for the Australian national anthem. Great rendition of the Australian national anthem there, as usual. Dave, we were talking about the Gold Coast Rollers and how impressive their start was last weekend in round one. Brisbane Capitals, we were here for that performance. It was unlike anything we've seen in the last few years from the Brisbane Capitals. They won 90-78 in double overtime against Cairns. You think double overtime traditionally with the Capitals, that'd be about a 120, 130 finish. Yeah. It's definitely a different look, but nonetheless an impressive performance from the Capitals. I'll help you out as to how they got there, Johnny. So the new big three, Volkman, Kadee, and Magnay, really solid. The rest of the team shot 13%. So that's why they only got 90 points. I think they'll have to obviously clean that up as they work it out. I can't imagine that they want Kadee to be shooting the ball 33 times every game. Despite their success last week. But, you know, really impressive performances from Magnay and Volkman in particular. Anderson, a little bit shaky on his first game back in a little while, so you won't see that again, I'm pretty confident. But I think that'll be the pace. I think they're probably a little slower, a little bit more poised than probably some of the Tarrant coach teams. And they'll just mix that up, I think, as well, depending on who's in and if they want to run or not, because still, if I've got Magnay with rim runs, then I'd be trying to push the ball pretty hard too. And you can't fault Jason Kadee's performance. He certainly delivered a performance that, you know, Brisbane would have expected from him, bringing him into the QBL this season. He was magnificent last weekend. Yeah, absolutely. I think he tweaked his ankle at some point, so he was a bit suspect tonight, but
he's suiting up, so it looks like he's good to go.
Yeah, it looks like he's good to go. This game is good to go. It's going to be a great one, Dave. What are your expectations and what are your keys for tonight's game for both teams?
Well, I think it's again, early days on both teams. There's a couple of new faces. You've got Reece Martin, who's probably one of the smartest guys running around the league, steering the Gold Coast boys around, which is terrific. And then you've got someone like Petrie at the front court. So really, you can't get any better IQ from the Gold Coast group. It'll be interesting to see how their imports are. Well, we haven't seen them. Parker had a big game against Mackay, got to the foul line, mixed it up, shot the ball well, and then Reece Martin was really good against the Spartans. So I just think it'll be early days. Everyone's trying to figure out their style a little bit, but generally speaking, Coach Conlon likes to be pretty free with his offense and let the guys run it on the court.
How do you see them matching up with Magne? He was great last weekend as well. I thought he was a real presence both on the offensive end and defensive, and particularly on the glass. He and Volkman really did a number on the Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really interesting contest because Petrie's obviously guarded everyone through 1 through 5 in the NBL, so he'll slow down Magne, I think, and it'll be just really interesting to see how Will's offensive game has progressed as to how he tries to take it to Petrie and how he might try and do that, and equally what offense they're going to run to try and get the likes of Magne some easy looks, because Kadee and Anderson and their wings are all going to get theirs out of opportunity offense.
It's going to be an exciting game. We're getting set for the tip between the Gold Coast Rollers and the Brisbane Capitals. Don't forget to stick around after this one. We will have the women's game tipping for you at about 7 p.m. tonight, but we're about to get set underway here. Let me find my referees. I lost my notes. I'm flustered, Dave. I think they're at your feet.
We got Alex is there. Maddie's there.
So referees for tonight, we've got the crew chief is Alex McEwen. Umpire 1 is Maddie Crowley. Umpire 2, Jordan Andriola. And, of course, the Gold Coast Rollers are going to be in their road whites with the blue and green stripes. And the Brisbane Capitals are in their home blues with the yellow stripes down the side. We do have Zach Carter back as well.
And, of course, Johnny, last night the Pirates had a good 3 quarters, and then Cairns just blew them away in the fourth. So the only game in the league last night, Cairns big winners up there in the men.
Yeah, they needed that one.
And the women, it was the reverse. Southwest, really big winners.
Well, starting out for the Gold Coast, you've got TJ Diop, LJ Rose. I'm really looking forward to seeing LJ Rose, Spencer Parker, Reece Martin, and, of course, Anthony Petrie. Caps have Anderson, Kopsikas, Kadee, Carter, and Magne. Tips underway, and we're set here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. Matchup LJ Rose and Kadee. Good ball movement early. Carter's wing 3 is good. Zach Carter had a quiet one offensively on his 30th birthday last week. He comes out firing.
Yeah, nice little set to get the Caps off to the races. Good ball movement and a nice look for Carter.
Kopsikas on the defensive end, guarding Spencer Parker. Here comes Martin, gets his feet in the paint, pass in the corner to Martin. Floaters blocked by Magne. He picks up where he left off last week. Good ball reversal. Anderson steps into a 3. That's good as well. The Caps are firing here. They're up 6-0.
Well, great start. And a couple of really soft looks too. Defense has got to be better from Gold Coast.
Martin on the wing looking inside for Diop, going against Magne one-on-one. Hook shot is up and short. TJ Diop's made a career out of that hook shot. That time it didn't work for him. Kadee looking to fire a 3. That's off the front of the rim. Martin grabs it for Gold Coast. Petrie's open. He'll fire. No, it goes inside to the mismatch, and Diop lays it in. Good recognition there from the veteran, Anthony Petrie. Anderson on the wing looking at the mismatch. Gets inside, is stripped out of bounds by Martin, so it's going to stay with the Capitals with 16 on the shot clock. Anderson inbounds way out to Carter. Now Kadee on the wing, guarded by Parker. They switch out to Martin. Anderson now comes off a Magne screen, swings it to Kadee with 5 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jumper, that's a tough look. It's off the front of the rim. Kopsikas gets it. Anderson uses the pump fake. 3 is up and good. Aaron Anderson with 6 straight for the Capitals. They're up 9-2.
Well, we talked a little bit about Anderson in the pre-game, Johnny. We're having a little bit of a quiet night last week, but you aren't not going to see that too many times. I mean, just one of the sweetest jump shots in the league.
That was a sweet floater there from L.J. Rose as well. Tough along the baseline. Good answer from the Gold Coast as Kopskis fires another three, too strong. Parker grabs it, and here comes the Gold Coast looking to run. Rose inside for Parker on Kadee. Hook shot is good. 4 straight here for the Gold Coast. Cuts their deficit to 3. Magne has it guarded one-on-one by Diop. Fakes left, picks up his dribble, goes to the right-handed hook shot and gets it to fall. That's a nice move, Dave. I know you love that from the big guy.
Yeah, nice patient action from him. Little hook shot. He's got that all day if he wants to. Just got the size over Diop.
Parker forces his way to the bucket. He's fouled. See who they go give this one to. It's going to go against Kopskis, I think, his first, the team's first. And Parker's going to go to the line for a couple. He was pretty impressive in his debut last week, Dave.
Yeah, he was, and he had 14 or 15 from the line. So clearly, he's able to get to the foul line, which is going to be good. Keep mixing up the offense.
And if you are tuning in on YouTube, hit us up in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Let us know where you're watching so we can give you a shout out. And if there's anything you'd like us to have a chat about, certainly hit us up in that comment section.
One thing that hasn't been an issue in the first few minutes, Johnny, but Gold Coast has got to be better at rebounding. They had two rough games starting, allowed 21 offensive rebounds to Mackay. So it's just something they've got to keep watching, especially as Magne and Volkman were really great on the glass last week.
11-8 the lead here for the Caps. 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes into the game. Kopskis gets inside, bank shot off, tipped by Magne. He comes down hard. Gold Coast has numbers. Martin goes right at Kadee, lays it up and in. Gold Coast storms back. They're down by 1. Kadee comes off the Magne screen. Swings it to Carter. They work it around the perimeter. Anderson has it with 10 on the shot clock. Finds Carter, good ball movement, good steal there by Parker. He's going to be able to streak to the basket. Euro step, layup is good, plus the foul.
Well, great couple of minutes here for the Rollers. Good defense, good hands, deflections, and easy bucket down the other end on the nice little Euro.
That foul's going to be on the captain, Zach Carter, his first personal. It's going to put Spencer Parker to the free throw line for a three-point play opportunity. Gold Coast takes the lead, 12-11. Daniel Robles watching from Chicago. What's up, Daniel? Thanks for tuning in. Let us know who you're checking out here. Are you following LJ maybe? As Parker misses the free throw. So 12-11 the lead for the Rollers. Anderson running the show as Volkman has checked in to the game. Inside pass for Kadee, finds Carter on the wing, fires another three. That's off the side of the rim. No good. Petrie lets it roll out of bounds. So
yeah, good look though. Good offense from Brisbane. Again, plenty of ball movement, plenty of player movement, and they Kadee on the drive baseline. Carter certainly capable of knocking down the three.
Salicic, the captain for the Rollers, checks in for the first time this afternoon. Reese Martin takes a breather. Petrie has it top of the key. Excuse me. Rose jump shot is short. Got to give a shout out to the Gold Coast Basketball Association. Looking forward to getting down there next week. Another Rollers game for nothing but net. This time down at the Gold Coast Basketball Association. I'm really looking forward to that one as Kadee got to the rim, was fouled, so he'll go to line for 2 shots. And I like that out of Kadee. He did a lot of his damage last week from the three-point line, but certainly doesn't hesitate taking those opportunities to get to the rim.
Yeah, and I think Cairns were far too nice and just letting him have those threes. I mean, certainly he's capable. You got to take something away from him. I mean, he shot 16 threes. A lot of them were fairly softly contested, let's call it. But they didn't do enough to disrupt Kadee or the Caps and make him do something differently. So, I'm sure it'll be interesting to see what Conlon will do as the game progresses here tonight.
Kadee is excellent from the free throw line. He hits them both. Caps go back up by 1. 13-12. We got 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. Selicic inside for Diop. Diop hook shot is good. I love watching TJ Diop. He's strong, he's athletic, he's agile, but he's got that nice soft touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anderson working on Diop, finds Magne, who puts it down with two hands, and they're going to get Diop for the foul. Beautifully run there by Anderson, and a great finish by Magne. Not putting the ball on the floor, keeping it nice and high, and flushing it with two.
Yeah, nice target from Magne. And an even better dime from Aaron Anderson.
Diop going to get a breather. Thalo Green checks in. We're also going to see Kobe Wilson for the first time this afternoon for the Capitals. I thought Wilson played some really impressive minutes last weekend, also versus Cairns.
Yeah, he did a really good job of worrying Fisher all game long. I think the combination of him and Anderson, did a really good job. And that's what they want from him. He's got to come in and make an impact. It's not about scoring necessarily always. It's about great defense.
Selicic in the corner, fires away, rolls in and out. Petrie, easy offensive rebound, misses the layup attempt. It's knocked out of bounds off of Green, so it's going to stay with the Capitals. And we see Anderson running the show here for Brisbane. In and out dribble, gets to the baseline, skip pass to Kadee in the corner. Now inside for Volkman, foul from behind. Oh no, it's going to be 3 seconds against Benny Volkman.
Wow.
Jared Eustace getting set to check in for Gold Coast. Spencer Parker gets his first breather this afternoon. Eustace, a guy that we're familiar with. We've seen him wear a few jerseys over the last few years in the QBL, but a guy who's got as much talent as anybody out there on the court, I think, Dave.
Yeah, and he could really be a super sub for this group. A little quiet last week, I think, and he played 12, 13 minutes. So didn't get a great opportunity, but he really has the opportunity. Yeah, I mean, he could come in and give you 15 a night off the bench.
Yeah, and we see quite often him playing at that point forward role, and I think that's a role that really suits him because he can handle the ball. He's got great vision as well. Petrie tried to squeeze one into Green. Volkman with the good hands. Hands off for Anderson. Anderson gets inside. Has to bring it back out. They work the ball around the perimeter. Kadee has it guarded by Eustace. Up top for Magne, keeps it nice and high. Hook shot is no good, tipped around. Wilson recovers out to Anderson. Good pump fake, fires the wing three, in and out. Volkman tips it, Eustace grabs it though for Gold Coast. Nice pass, Green fires a three, that's good. What a nice dime there from LJ Rose. Out to Thalo Green. And there is a timeout taken on the floor. Sam McKinnon doesn't like what he sees from his troops. So the timeout taken, Dave. Pretty good timeout there from Coach McKinnon. Things were starting to look a little rough for the Capitals. What do you think so far in the first 6 minutes of this game?
Yeah, I think a good start from both groups. I mean, I think Brisbane's still got to sort out some of their stuff. A lot of nice extra passes, looking inside. And like I said in the early part, Magne won't have his way with Petrie like he has others. So it's a nice challenge to see how Magne responds.
Yeah, it's been some great action. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with some more live QBL action with the Gold Coast up 17-16 on the Brisbane Capitals in your Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. 17-16 the lead for Gold Coast as Anderson gets inside. Volkman, great pump fake, throws up the floater that rolls home. Very rare you see it hit the front of the rim and roll in, but Benny Volkman got the home bounce.
Yeah. I think I've seen more pump fakes in this first quarter, Johnny. than at a James Harden convention or something. But, you know, interesting with obviously everyone's, shooting more threes now. So the defense is going to continue to adjust. Who are we going to close out hard on? Who are we just going to get ahead on, etc. But Aaron Anderson especially, a lot of pump fakes and guys flying by.
Here comes Anderson, throws it up, has it tipped by Green. Rose recovers, but it's stripped out of bounds off the hands of Aaron Anderson, so it's going to stay with the Gold Coast. 3:25 to go in this one, a 1-point lead for the Capitals. As Reese Martin checks back in, as does TJ Diop for LJ Rose and Anthony Petrie. Petrie recently retired from the NBL. Doing a great job in the Gold Coast Basketball Association as well with the women's program.
Yeah.
Won a national championship and also recently won the state classics again with that same group. And I got to say, Dave, they were a super impressive group, and I thought Petrie does a great job as a coach. I was really impressed with how he had his team running.
Yeah, they certainly, really talented group, and great for Queensland basketball to stick it to the rest of them and in that 14s.
Wilson has it on the wing, drives baseline, picks up his dribble, finds Magne. Magne gets inside, a lot of contact. The foul going to go against Thalo Green.
That's 2 on him, so he'll be checking out after a few minutes.
Third team foul on the Gold Coast as well, so Magne going to go to the free throw line for a couple here. Nick Stoddard checks in for Jason Cadee as well. Magne hits the first one. Magne's got a really nice shooting stroke, actually, Dave. He's not known for his jump shot, but we saw him take a 3 last weekend and a couple of jump shots. He looks like he's got some promise there on the Jimmy.
Yeah, and the free throw is looking good too.
Eustace has it guarded by his former teammate Benny Volkman. Goes to Diop on the block. Nice footwork there from Diop to lay it up and in. You love that, Dave. Break that one down for me. What's working there for TJ Diop?
Well, it just was nice and patient. He gave him a little bit of a shoulder shimmy, then gave him the quick head fake, and Magne fell for it. Drop step to the baseline. Great move.
That's basic basketball too, Dave. Setting your pivot foot and working your pivots, reverse pivot, everything.
Absolutely. Just great fundamentals from Diop.
Things getting a bit sloppy here. Gold Coast comes up with the steal. They're up 2. Martin goes behind his back, finds Eustace on the wing. Good pump fake again. Nice ball movement. Green lays it in. Really good work there. Eustace to Martin to the Green for the easy 2.
Yeah, and Martin again unselfish. Nice pass from Eustace again, getting feet in his paint.
That foul is going to go against Jared Eustace, holding on Kobe Wilson. Those two, I think, were teammates at BBC back in the high school days too, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they also had a run together with Ipswich a few years ago in the QBL, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Certainly familiar with each other, those two. Bit of friendly arm pull from Eustace.
Yeah.
Bit of zone now from Gold Coast. Jays Morris checks in for the Rollers. Stoddard gets inside, throws up the floater. That rolls home. Second time we've seen the Caps hit the front of the rim and get it to roll.
Yeah, Stoddard, nice little attack with his offhand. Interesting to see too, Johnny, the depth of Gold Coast. Gold Coast, I think, are the largest association now in Queensland. So they're benefiting from all that Com Games action. Plenty of courts down on the Gold Coast now.
Well, it's good to see him full. The Gold Coast is up by 2. Stoddard's pass I thought it was a kick ball. Volkman gets it, drives baseline. His foul from behind by Reese Martin. So Volkman will go to the line for 2 shots. That foul actually puts the Gold Coast in the penalty as well. Shout out to Isaiah Derwin. Is he refereeing tonight, or what's up with Isaiah?
He just finished, mate.
Did he?
Under 12 rep, yeah.
I mean, we should get him here working.
Yeah.
We got to get Regan back on the mic. We got to get this guy on the production panel. Gotta help pay them bills.
Sure, I hear you.
Volkman missed the first one. 1:11 to go here. Gold Coast is up 2. Don't forget, after this one, around 7 o'clock, we'll have the women's game tipping for you. Volkman does go 1 of 2, so it's a 1-point lead for the Gold Coast. Green goes behind his back. Kicks it into the corner for Morris. Morris drives baseline. Got himself in a bit of trouble. Somehow Eustace recovered. There's 10 on the shot clock. Foul away from the ball, it looked like. Goes against Cobby Wilson. That's the 4th team foul. First personal on Cobby Wilson.
Jeez.
Mustn't have accepted that screen too well.
Well, yeah, I didn't. I actually thought it was going the other way, but
miscommunication from the veteran Martin to the other veteran Petrie. Leads to a turnover, so Brisbane has an opportunity to retake the lead here. They're down 1, 23-22. About 45 seconds to go here in the first. Anderson wants a screen from Carter. Trying to drive baseline, leaves his feet. Ball goes out of bounds, though. It's a turnover from Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, good D from Martin. Always was an elite defender. And although the hair keeps getting a little thinner for Reece Martin, he's still an elite defender at this level and doing a good job for Gold Coast.
Eustace goes inside for Petrie, working against Carter. Gonna back down against Zach Carter. Turnaround jump shot is strong. Volkman defensive rebound. Brisbane can hold for the final shot of the quarter, down 1. Anderson goes left, kicks it to the corner, and Stoddard steps out of bounds. Turnovers hurting Brisbane here, particularly on these last 2 possessions.
Yeah, good job from Gold Coast to, again, continue to grind here and a couple of back-to-back stops. Give themselves an opportunity here for the last look.
Eustace finds Green. Over to Petrie. Will he get the shot off? He does, but it's way off. And that's the end of the quarter. As we head into the first break, it's a 1-point lead for the Gold Coast Rollers, 23-22. Dave, it was a really good first quarter of action. Both teams had their ups and downs. Well, give us your thoughts on that first quarter of action.
Yeah, great opening quarter. Defensively, I thought Gold Coast did a good job in the last few minutes to assert themselves, get a couple of stops. And offensively, they're looking a little bit better, mixing it up, hitting Diop early in the offense, inside, outside too. So good balance here from the Gold Coast in the last end of the quarter.
Well, it is the end of the first quarter, so we'll take a break as well. We'll come back with more live QBL 2019 action for you here, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. It's the end of the first quarter, start of the second. 23-22, the lead for the Gold Coast Rollers over the Brisbane Capitals. Dave, taking a look at the stat sheet, what's jumping out at you?
Well, just like, continuing on from the end of the first there, I like the way the Gold Coast is sharing the ball. 6 assists on 10 shots, spreading the offense, looking really good. For Brisbane, obviously a lot of it's gone through. Anderson hit a couple of early threes, and then the rest of it's been trying to move the ball, trying to establish guys. But at the moment, no one's really standing out. For Brisbane, they're just easing into the game.
Martin gets inside. 1-foot floater is nice. That's a veteran shot there from Reese Martin. Makes it look easy. I almost said Reese Carter. Sorry about that, Reese. 25-22 the lead. As Wilson fires the corner three, that's strong. Job nearly had it stripped by Carter. Now Gold Coast has the numbers advantage if they play it right. Martin is open on the wing, uses the pump fake, step back three, up, short, and Cobby Wilson with the D board. Magnay at the elbow, going one-on-one with Job, gets it out to Stoddart. Stoddart pulls it back out, working on Job, gets to the rim. Layup is no good, but he's fouled. It's a good recognition there from the young fella. Recognizing he had Job on him, goes right at him.
Yeah, really nice explosive move, switching it back to his right hand. Diop was a little lazy there too. He probably just could contain him a little better.
So Stoddart going to the free throw line for a couple here. Job's second personal foul. One point the lead now for the Gold Coast. Good take there by Parker. A bit of contact. No call from the referees. He's going to stay with the Gold Coast. Got to give a shout out to Be Elite Basketball Australia. My guy from Long Island, living on the coast, living that Australian life. As he's checking in on YouTube, Petrie gets it out. Rose got to fire the deep one, and that's good. LJ Rose hits a deep three to beat the buzzer. The Rollers are up 4, 28-24. Not a bad look.
Yeah, nice little arm wrestle.
Petrie took a dive. Well, that's what the referees are saying at least. Petrie can't believe there was no call. And then he gets called for the foul, trying to get back up and play some defense on Magnay. Regan, give us our resident referee thoughts.
Hang on, I'm ready for this.
Yeah, and it's 100% the right decision there as well. What Alex said to the coach was exactly right. He got the contact, but the minimal amount of contact was not enough to push Petrie off his plane and hit the deck. So, yes, there was contact. Petrie's right in that sense, but the level of contact would not have knocked him over. He's intentionally fallen over to try and draw that foul. Flop warning is a perfect call there from Alex McKeown.
And just so everyone is aware, Regan, you have refereed basketball in the state of Queensland for a long time. You have refereed at the QBL level. When was the last time you had the whistle?
Last time I professionally had the whistle was probably around about 4 years ago now, ever since I jumped on board with you guys here and obviously doing my streams at Southwest. But I did, I think, 7 seasons of men in the QBL and 8 seasons of women's basketball in the QBL as well. So I've been around quite some time, Johnny.
Yeah, referee Regan / producer / commentator. The guy wears many hats. Thanks for the analysis, Regan.
Anytime.
So it's 28-26. As Martin misses the three, ball goes out of bounds. Things are slowed a bit slow start here to the second quarter, Dave.
Really scrappy, but a nice little arm wrestle. They're both trying to find a little bit of flow, and they're both struggling. But it's a good aggressive battle from both teams right now.
Carter takes another three, misses that one. Kopskis chases it down.
Well, there's the rebounds we talked about, Johnny.
Stoddart going right at Petrie and lays it in with the right hand. Stoddart looks pretty good here so far today.
Yeah, he only got limited minutes last week, so McKinnon gone to him early, and he's looked good.
Parker, floater, banks it home. He is looking smooth here, Spencer Parker.
We talked about the new group and the new faces.
And misses, and then Stoddart gets called for the foul.
One of the guys who's going to miss out a little bit is Jake Davis, who we haven't seen check in yet. Gone from starting from the last few years into no minutes yet in the game. And obviously that's just a adjustment in the Sam McKinnon system, and just interesting to see how all the young guys will play out.
Yeah, well, we definitely saw a tighter rotation from Sam in round one last week, and it's pretty similar rotation here tonight as well.
Yeah, just the young fella's got to be hungry, stay ready to go.
Petrie gets a bit of room, goes to the rim, left-hand layup is no good. Carter corrals the rebound. Petrie's down in the back of the court play. He's back up, though. Tipped around, Carter recovers. Out to Kopskis, alley-oop. Magne puts it down. Brisbane really capitalized on the play with Petrie in the back play. 30 all the score now. Petrie skips it to Martin. Good pump fake. Inside now, Rose layup, no good. That one hurts. Stoddard kicks ahead, Kopskis to the corner for Kadee. Wide open three, up, no good. Rollers dodged the bullet there.
Yeah. Although Rose did blow the easiest one of the night.
Martin in the corner for three, that's short as well. Three-point shot has been quiet for both teams as Kadee gets inside. Reverse layup is good, plus the foul. Bucket counts. That one's going to go against Thalo Green, his third personal. And there's a timeout on the floor taken by Coach Mick Conlon as the momentum slipping away here for the Gold Coast Rollers just a bit. It's a good timeout by Coach Conlon, I think, just to kind of settle his troops down. You see a lot of chatter between the players and the referees, and the momentum certainly in the Capitals' favor at the moment.
Yeah, it's getting a little chippy, and I guess primarily it's been pretty scrappy. So I think good timeout for Coach Conlon to settle the troops down and try and get a couple of sets in where we can go get some easy buckets.
There's the timeout, so we'll take a quick one as well. It's 32-30. The Capitals up on the Rollers here. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchen Flower. 5:50 to go here in the first half. While we're at it, I better give a birthday shout out to my son, Eddie Gorna. I don't know if he's watching. I'm pretty sure he'll watch it back.
He better be.
He might be partying. It's his 12th birthday. Happy birthday, Eddie. Love you very much, and hope you had a good day so far. As Kadee completes the three-point play, Caps up 33-30. Parker reverses it out to Green, skips it to Salicic. Now Petrie has it, guarded by Carter. On the block with 5 seconds to go. Petrie double team, gets away from the double, and hits the turnaround jump shot. That's a veteran play there from Petrie.
Good patience and good poise. Still like to see a little bit more movement from Gold Coast off the ball. They obviously posting up the Diop and Petrie, but you've got four dudes hanging out on the perimeter. Like to see a little exchange or either diving down the middle, etc. Some cuts from the guards, just to keep the Brisbane defense honest.
Well, that'll work. That cross court no look from Martin to Salicic, drains the three. 35-33 the lead here. Kadee. Oh no, they're going to get Carter for the moving screen. It's Carter's second personal. 4:45 to go. Volkman and Anderson checks in. Stoddard and Carter get a breather. And Petrie has a seat as well. Checking in is Jared Eustace. So some interesting matchups here as Magne gonna have to guard Spencer Parker with these lineups here. Kopskis gets called off the ball. A lot of contact between Kopskis and Eustace. Two guys who don't mind a bit of physical play.
Sure.
It's a great matchup defensively for both guys as well. Salicic out to Martin. Now Eustace in the corner. Eustace gets it back on the wing, fires the three, which is short. Volkman grabs a rebound, finds Anderson. Nice pass to the wing for Kadee. Kadee's going to slow it down. Works off of Volkman's screen. Has Green on him. He'll fire top of the key three, which is off the front of the rim. No good. As hot as Jason Kadee was last week from three, he's as cold this week as Eustace gets inside, nearly has his pass stolen. Gold Coast will reset.
Yeah, 0-5 from downtown for Kadee so far, Johnny.
Martin steps through, dumps it inside for Green to lay it in. Again, veteran play there from Martin. Just great recognition. Really has great court awareness, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Anderson guarded by Salicic. Now Green switches out. Kadee in the corner goes inside. Magne lays it in.
Great job. Great job for Magne to just keep slipping down low, and good feed from Kadee. And if they're going to switch that pick and roll, that's how Brisbane will punish them all night long.
Yeah, and Magne's done a really good job taking it strong to the basket a few times tonight as Parker has the three roll in and out. Kadee goes to the left, reverse layup, rolls in. And Kadee doesn't have that three-point shot working, so he goes to the rack. Tied at 37 with under three to go now. As Anderson gets a hand in and steals it from Green. And that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul as Thalo Green grabs on the ankle of Aaron Anderson. That's his fourth personal as well. It's a big out for the Gold Coast. And Petrie going to have to check in, as does Rose and Morris. I thought that was the fourth. Does that not count as a personal foul, Regan?
No, it definitely does count as a personal foul. I think the issue was there was a foul earlier on in the first quarter where we thought it was going to be Thalo Green's second, but it was actually only his first. So there was a foul somewhere along the lines. It was called against someone else. But no, unsportsmanlike foul, definitely still a personal foul in the rules of the law. So it is his third only. But realistically, just a silly play as well. You know, any act like that now where you're not playing the ball is an immediate unsportsmanlike foul. So, yeah, not a great move.
Now the veteran Green fouls Anderson. Anderson's free throws make it a 2-point lead now for the Capitals, and they get possession of the ball on the back of the unsportsmanlike. Anderson gets inside on Morris, gets to the rim, lays it in, plus the foul. Aaron Anderson starting to heat up, and that could spell trouble for the Gold Coast.
And you know, he's obviously pretty keen to look at exploiting the Morris matchup. So for Gold Coast, no split line D, no help, just too easy.
So Anderson gets to the free throw line. Gotta give a shout out to Glenn Wall on the YouTube comments. Again, Daniel Robles. Let's go, Salicic. Shout out to the homie. Watching in Chicago. Salicic spent a bit of time over in the States at uni, so I'm sure he's got plenty of friends over in the States.
Yeah.
Brisbane has pushed out to a 5-point lead here. We got 2:30 to go in the first half. There's Salicic. Fires the wing three, hits another one, this time from the other side. Whips it home. Deficit 2 for Gold Coast. Kadee inside for Volkman. Great catch and finish there from Volkman on a nice look from Kadee.
Yeah, Brisbane's doing a nice job of really spreading their offense and finding the mismatch, which is at the moment it's Volkman who's got Salicic covered by a bit.
Kadee finds Anderson. He's open, wing three up and good. Aaron Anderson. He's cooking. 47-40 the lead for the Capitals here. We got 1:45 in the first half to go. Rose gonna fire his wing three, hits the front of the rim. Magne skies for it. Kadee goes behind his back. Running the point for the Capitals here. Finds Magne rolling to the basket, skips it. Good ball movement. Anderson using the pump fake, gets to the rim, lays it in. Really nice ball movement. Caps are finding a groove here towards the end of the first.
Great couple minutes here for the Caps.
Salicic working on Kadee. Gets it out to Morris. Was 5 on the shot clock. Baseline jump shot short. Another defensive rebound from Magne, and he's fouled by Morris. Gold Coast is in the penalty, so Magne's going to go to the line for a couple.
Yeah, silly foul.
Magne.
He had Petrie on Kopsakis in the block. Decided to shoot the fadeaway jumper.
Magne so far tonight 4 of 5 from the charity stripe. Magne going to go to the line for 2. Of course, say he's shooting well. The old commentator's jinx. Nothing intentional. I think it's just nature. Second one for Magne, though, is good. So the lead is out to 10. Got just under a minute to go here in the first half. Rose taking Anderson in the block, leaves his feet, finds Eustace from the wing off. Tipped around, Anderson chases it down. He's going to speed to the bucket. Going to call that foul on Eustace. Anderson got himself in a tough position, but Eustace in the air. They got to call that one. I mean, there was definite contact. It really doesn't give the referees any option, but you have to call it, don't you?
No.
So Anderson starting to take over here late in the second quarter. He's really heating up. He's got 16 on the night after a really quiet round one for Anderson.
It was 37-33 not too long ago, so really nice way to close out this second quarter.
And don't forget, after the men's game, we will have the women's matchup between the Brisbane Capitals and the Gold Coast Rollers. Both teams looking for their first wins of the season. Just stick around on YouTube and we'll get that out there. Both are good from Anderson. Lead is 12. Shout out to Keegan Gowitz on the YouTube comments and also Craig Marshall. Keegan says Salicic might be the most promising Aussie prospect I've ever seen. We also have a few other interesting prospects in this game from Australia, Keegan. Jason Kadee was certainly one of the most heralded prospects in Australia. Salicic definitely was up there as well. You got Magne out here on the court as well, so really nice Australian talent, especially when we're talking prospects. And Craig Marshall makes a good point, Dave, too. Gold Coast shooting jumpers, Caps going inside the net. Kadee gets inside, puts it up with the left hand. It's no good, but he's fouled. And Kadee will go to the line for a couple. And it's a good point Craig makes, Dave. I think that is a big difference in this second quarter particularly.
Yeah, well, the last time down we talked about lack of player movement. They hit and Peach in the block, Parker down the pipes, easy layup, like we just talked about. So they got to keep mixing it up. Mind you, though, a lot of the Gold Coast shots, I think, have been good shots. So they're getting good reversals, they're sharing the ball, just haven't knocked them down.
10 points the lead for Brisbane. Just under 4 seconds. On the main clock, it says 3.9. Kadee hits the first, misses the second. Petrie gets the rebound, hands off for Rose. He speeds up the court, throws one up. It's up and no good. They're going to get Kopskis for the flopping warning. I'm surprised they didn't call the foul either because there was a bit of contact, but referee swallowed the whistle, let that one go. And at the halftime break, it's an 11-point lead for the Capitals, Dave, 53-42. A very slow start to that second quarter of action, but nonetheless, Brisbane picked it up, and they run out into the halftime up double figures, and deservedly so.
Yeah, they did, and they only really turned it around that last few minutes. It was a pretty scrappy affair, but they just knuckled down. They played good defense. They hit shots. And they also got to the foul line, which helped them get some cheap ones. So Brisbane really asserted themselves in that last 3 minutes for me.
It's going to be an interesting second half, Dave. A lot of adjustments to come. What do you see the Gold Coast needing to focus on coming out in that second half?
Well, I don't think they did a whole lot wrong. I just think they need to maybe communicate better defensively and really get on that split line. I know they've got a lot of shooters in Brisbane, but you just got to work hard. If they're going to run guys off the three, then they've got to defend better. And then down the other end, I think it's just knocked down some shots. Like I think they're moving the ball really well and sharing it. Again, I like the Petrie and Diop targets because Brisbane's helping and digging in and giving the opportunity for the Gold Coast guards to get their three on.
Well, what did you see out of the Capitals too in that first half? I thought they were really impressive, particularly in that second half of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think they've really recognised the mismatches in particular, done a good job looking for the Magnays and Volkmans on that. And, they got a lot of smart guys in Kadee and Anderson in their playmaking, and Stoddard had a nice little punch off the bench as well.
Yeah, well, that's the first half of action. Like we said, 53-42 the score. The Capitals up on the Gold Coast Rollers. We're going to take a break. Dave's going to then analyze this box score for us, break it down for us when we come back on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to NAB Stadium here in Auckland Flower. Shout out to Mackay Meteors coach Jason Borgie. I'm representing New York City, baby. Hey, and also a bit of news also. Got to thank Jason Blanchard for sending this through to us. Apparently, all SBL and QBL games canceled tonight at the Phoenix due to a slippery floor. That's a really unfortunate occurrence because Phoenix were playing some decent ball.
Yeah, and it happens sometimes with the funky weather. I know certainly Brisbane here at Auckland Flower, we've had a couple of games cancelled over the years with just some of the weird conditions, so a bit of rain down here as well. So that's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame, unfortunately, so the Phoenix don't get to run tonight. Dave, I know you'd looked at the statistics, and you always break it down for us, and break it down well. So what are the stats showing you?
Well, I think, for me, the thing that stood out was the 21 free throws to 2. So Brisbane doing a good job of getting to the line. Gold Coast haven't really. They've been shooting the ball well, and as our very knowledgeable listener from America pointed out, a lot of outside shooting. So they've just got to improve maybe a little bit of that balance. But I think it's not just about the balance. I think they need to be aggressively attacking. And probably a lot of teams have read the paper on that 8-block performance from Magnay and maybe thinking a little bit about it. But I think, obviously they've got to be more aggressive offensively, looking to get to the foul line, getting feet in the paint, kicking, and continuing to shoot the ball. And Brisbane's done a really good job of again, just being really gritty and nice defensive intent, and they're doing a good job of moving their feet without fouling.
Let's take a look at the stat sheet and some pretty impressive scores for the Brisbane Capitals there in the first half. I think they were led by Aaron Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson had 18, Will Magnay 13, Anderson 3 or 4 from downtown. Again, they're shooting the ball really well, 55% for Brisbane, only 46% for the Gold Coast, which is okay, as I said. So they're not far out. I think Gold Coast makes some adjustments, and this could be a real nail-biter. But they've got to do a better job of cleaning up that free throw discrepancy. It's pretty significant.
So we've got about a minute to go, Dave. I usually put you on the spot before the game to make the prediction. I think I forgot. I let you off the hook this time. Ross Barton hit you up on halftime asking you for a prediction. Do you want to put that out on air, or you just want to leave it that it's going to be a great second half of action?
Well, let's just go with the great action.
Yeah, I'm expecting a great second half. It was a great first half. It is an 11-point lead for the Capitals over the Gold Coast Rollers here. Guys, if you are on YouTube or Facebook, leave us some comments. Let us know you're watching. We'll make sure we give you a shout-out. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about during the game also, please leave us a comment. We'll make sure that we reply to you, whether it's on air or in the comments or not. I'll let Dave know. Dave, former player, coach, president at the Southwest Metro Pirates. We also have Regan Baker, a former QBL referee as well. And I'm just here for the accent, I think. But we're about to get set for the second half of action here. It is 53-42. Brisbane over the Gold Coast Rollers. And I should remind you also, we will have the women's game for you coming up afterwards on the YouTube channel as well, the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more action, trying to get Parker and Rose the ball a little bit more. I think Parker had 31 points in his debut, and only 7 shots, especially considering Peach is only 1 of 6, and they're just lacking a little bit of offense right now.
Well, Brisbane will start the half with the ball. Anderson has it on the wing, looking for Magnay. Back out to Anderson. Good pump fake. Anderson from the elbows, good. And I tell you what, Anderson picks up right where he left off the first half.
Well, and I'm actually more impressed with the Magnay quick kick out too, Johnny. That's certainly something, the evolution of Magnay's game. Great little quick inside-outside touch, and Martin had to close out hard.
Carter up and under, gets the bucket plus the foul. Another veteran play there from Reese Martin, and that's a really calming factor when you have somebody like Martin who could pull off a veteran play like that.
Yeah, and that's what they need. Get some more points in the paint. Carter will check out. I think that's his 3rd, if I'm correct.
3rd for Carter. So Volkman checks in. 37 seconds into the second half. Martin hits the free throw, so lead is 10 for Brisbane, 55-45. Kadee, top of the key, three-pointer, no good. Rebound goes to Rose. He kicks ahead for Parker. Parker puts it down with one hand. Kadee was looking for the foul, didn't get it. Giving the referee the old stink eye, but maybe he'll get it next time. We're going to call the floor wipers out to wipe off a bit of moisture. Don't forget referees for tonight's game. We have the crew chief, Alex McEwen. Umpire 1, Matty Crowley, and umpire 2, Jordan Andriola. And while we're at it, got to give a shout out to Wayne Moore here at NAB Stadium and the Brisbane Capitals. Always looking after us, Dave. Always taking care of us whenever we're here at Auchenflower. And also make sure I want to give a shout out to James Bowman from the Australian Sports Network. Always there to help us with all of our graphics needs, our technical needs, all the beautiful graphics you see throughout all of our live streams, the holding slides, the statistics, everything you see during the game developed by the Australian Sports Network. Kopska swings it to Kadee off of a Gold Coast turnover. Brisbane's going to set in the half court. Kopska's working against Martin, gets to the rim, can't finish, but Volkman grabs the offensive rebound. There's 4 on the shot clock. Kopska's has to get the shot off 1. Volkman lays it up, no good. Oh, it does fall. I thought it was short, but he got the layup to fall.
Super sub Volkman again, great offensive rebound. I think they got a little robbed on the shot clock reset, but Brizzy did a good job.
57-47. Brisbane in the lead. Martin foul. Let's see who they give this one to.
Well, Anderson on the...
Yeah, it's going to go against Aaron Anderson.
Hands in the cookie jar.
That's his first or second personal. It's the second team foul of the half. First personal on Aaron Anderson. Parker leaves his feet. They work it to Martin in the corner. 3 is up and good. Reese Martin starting to heat up a bit here for the Gold Coast. They're down by 7. Kopskis driving baseline, goes right at Martin. Layup is good.
Yeah, good take.
Great take and a really strong finish there from Kopskis.
Was a really good finish. Martin did a good job of trying to stay in front.
Offensive foul called on Parker. Kopskis established position. Parker throws the forearm to get space, and that's an offensive foul. I like that call. Dave, come on, speak.
Yeah, it was a 50-50, yeah. You know, as in call or no call.
Could have let it go, you think?
Yeah.
Regan, resident referee?
I tend to agree, Dave. Like, it definitely a 50-50 call.
Yeah.
We haven't had one like that called so far in the game. Yeah, I'm half-half. I don't mind that call because it means we shouldn't see it again in the rest of the game, which is probably why Alex called it. Just because that's nitty-gritty stuff that you don't want to see in a game of basketball.
Rose skips it to Parker. Goes at Kopskis. They're going to get Kopskis for the blocking foul. It's a good matchup between Parker and Kopskis. A lot of physical play here.
Yeah, good take. And I like it. I mean, we said Parker's going to be more aggressive here.
Third on Kopskis, the third on Brisbane. 3 minutes into.
I think Coach Conlon obviously looked at the foul count and the free throw disparity and said the same thing. We need to be more aggressive.
So Rose getting set to inbound, finds Petrie. Martin swings it now to Parker. Warren's up with Rose again on the wing, guarded by Magne.
Rose looks really patient, hasn't really looked for his shot. He's only hit 1 3, Johnny, but the 3 did look really smooth, so I'm surprised he hasn't shot the ball a little more.
I'm surprised he wasn't a little more aggressive going at Magne on that possession as well. Kopskis looking to goes behind his back, loses it, recovers out to Magne. There's 10 on the shot clock. Kadee goes inside for Volkman, working on Parker, spins to the right, and slotted by TJ Diop. Good help defense there from Diop. Martin gets inside, gets it out to Parker. Parker working on Volkman. Fadeaway jump shot is good. Stops on a dime and swishes it. 59-52, Caps up. Volkman has it. Anderson was open in the corner. Active hands, though, from Parker. Gets the steal. There's Rose on the wing. Looking for a drop screen. Goes away from it. Keeps his dribble alive. No look pass. Parker lays it in. 5 points the deficit now for Gold Coast. They're down 59-54.
Yeah, really nice start from Gold Coast here. Again, not so many outside shots. More balance, in particular, in the middle at the moment. Points in the paint.
Kopskis out to Magne. They work it around Anderson. He's wide open. Can't get the shot to fall. Again, Capitals have an opportunity to cut into this deficit. They're down 5. Parker nearly traveled. Jop will fire from the elbow. It's too strong. Volkman with the defensive rebound.
Yeah, quick shot from Diop.
Here comes Kadee working on Diop. Gets it out. Volkman hesitates. Gets to the rim. Layup is good, plus the foul. Good hesitation there. I was expecting a thunder dunk there from Volkman, but he lays it in, plus the foul. Kobe Wilson going to check in for Kopskis. Good few minutes there for Kopskis.
Yeah.
And Job going to get a breather. Thello Green going to check back in.
And that's the benefit I think that this Caps group has, is plenty of strength in you sub out of Kopskis and you got Kobe Wilson picking you up 94 feet. So they got a lot of depth.
Particularly in the backcourt, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of a three-man rotation up front between Carter, Volkman, and Magne. And Martin fires the three, which is short. But got to say, Dave, we've been here at Auchenflower for the first 2 rounds of the season. Been really impressed with the Brisbane front court. Magne and Volkman have been awesome. Magne, everyone wanted to travel. It doesn't get called, and he lays it in.
Yeah.
It was close. It was definitely close, but Magne nonetheless finishes the play, and his team's back up by 10. As Rose fires a 3, rattles home, and there's a foul inside on Volkman.
Well, there's the Rose Jimmy again, Johnny. 2 for 2 from deep.
And I remember I spoke to Coach Conlon in the preseason, if you were able to check out that podcast, and he mentioned Rose is a great shooter. So surprised we haven't seen too much of that from Rose, but who knows? Maybe he's keeping it for the second half.
Yeah, letting the game come to him a little bit.
Green getting down and dirty, loses the ball out of bounds, though. So it's going to be Brisbane ball, up 7. The floor wipers again out there. It's a muggy evening here in Brisbane, to say the least. The super fans are blasting above us. Selicic back in for the Gold Coast. He's got the Aaron Anderson assignment. Kadee guarded by Rose. Kadee gets the screen from Volkman. He's double teamed, works it over. Anderson's open. Good pump fake by Anderson. Stops, pops, and hits. Well, if you've watched Anderson, that's his game right there.
Yeah, and the challenge of, if you're going to go and blitz that on ball, you need that weak side coverage.
And Anderson gets the steal, nearly loses it, keeps his dribble alive, and he's going to reset for Brisbane. Kadee from 3 is good. We heard that a lot last week. Mick Conlon's going to take a timeout. His team is now down 12. Jason Kadee hits the 3. The Rollers are a bit frustrated. A really good timeout there from Coach Conlon, Dave, as Brisbane's starting to push back out.
Yeah, they did, and again, Gold Coast, great start to the game, but a nice counter from Brisbane the last few minutes to get it back out to 12. And they've just done it through good execution, good shot selection, and making buckets.
Brisbane doing a great job. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the rest of the third quarter action as Brisbane's up 69-57. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. 3:30 to go in the third quarter. It's 69-57. Brisbane up on the Gold Coast. Good time out there from Coach Conlon, Dave. Really looking to reset the troops. Doesn't want Brisbane to pull away too much further.
Yeah, he'd be a little disappointed the last couple of minutes, but they did a good job of chipping back in. And, you know, you're down 11, so the speech at the three-quarter time would have been clean up our D, make a bit of a run. Let's get it to, you know, six or better. And Brisbane had a nice answer.
Green finds Selicic in the corner. 3 is short. Good rebound there from Parker. He steps out to the corner. They work the ball around the perimeter to Rose. There's 7 on the shot clock. Rose fires a deep one, hits the front of the rim. Cobby Wilson grabs the defensive rebound. Kadee goes inside. Magne again taking it right to the rim, misses. Tipped around, Anderson recovers for Brisbane. Kadee steps into a long 3. That's good. He's starting to heat up. Jason Kadee pushes the Capitals' lead out to 15.
Well, they did that through another offensive rebound from Anderson.
Petrie has it, guarded by Magne, his former Bullets teammate. Petrie finds Rose cutting, nearly loses it. Rose recovers, gets it out to Parker. Parker inside, a lot of contact, can't finish, and Volkman grabs the rebound. Anderson hands off for Kadee. He's feeling it, leaves his feet. Wilson recovers back to Anderson. Under 2 minutes to go now here in the third. Anderson goes inside for Volkman. They're going to get Thalo Green for the blocking foul. The points aren't going to count, but that one there is definitely going to be Thalo Green's 4th personal.
Well, my man Benny Volkman, most improved player this year. He's been really good.
Yeah,
really
he's been excellent.
Really aggressive. Great move. Taking it straight to Green.
Rose, Parker, and Green check out. Eustace, Martin, and Job back in for the Rollers. Magne gets a breather. Lockie Venus seeing his first minutes of the season here for the Capitals. As Kadee fires another 3, that one's strong. Bit of a heat check there for Jason Kadee. Selicic looking inside. Job has Venus on him. He's stripped from behind by Anderson. Anderson one-on-one with Selicic. Goes to the left, leaves his feet. They work it around. Kadee's open for 3 from the wing. That's good. Great ball movement leads to a wide-open Kadee 3.
Yeah.
And Brisbane's up 18.
Again, it come from the defense. Aaron Anderson. And a great probe. Good patience.
Martin. Jump shot, no good. Volkman grabs the defensive rebound. Anderson keeps his dribble alive. Kicks it over to Venus, not ready for it. Volkman pump fake, goes to the rim. Layup, no good. Tipped around, Petrie grabs it for Gold Coast. Under a minute left in the third. Brisbane's up 18. Martin has it, gonna fire a wing 3. That's an air ball. Petrie can't save it from going out of bounds.
Yeah, a couple of, as much as I love Reese's game, a couple of ISO options when Goldie needed a bucket, and they need to do so, I think, by moving the ball, moving this Brisbane defense. Only 15 points for the quarter so far, Johnny, for Goldie.
Kadee's heating up. He finds Stoddart. Stoddart looks inside for Volkman on the block with Petrie guarding him. Skip pass to Venus. Baseline jump shot is good. Lockie Venus. First points of the season for Lockie Venus. His team's up 20, and Gold Coast can hold for the final shot. Got to give a shout out to Jimmy watching live from Mudjuraba. Off to the World Cup of Basketball in China. If you got an extra ticket, Jimmy, hit me up. Selicic wing 3 rattles home.
There you go. Better action. Nice penetrating pitch.
Stoddart from half court. Can't get the bank to open. And heading into the quarter time break, it's a 17-point lead for the Brisbane Capitals, 77-60. Gold Coast did a good job, Dave. They got within 5, but Brisbane really ran away behind some hot shooting from Jason Kadee.
Well, they did, and again, the Brisbane defense was really solid. They had a couple of steals, They defended well, rebounded and ran well, pushed the ball, and found the open shooter. So Brisbane keeping it really simple right now, but executing well.
It's going to be an interesting finish here. Brisbane has the big lead. Can the Gold Coast come back and steal this one from the Capitals? We're going to find out soon. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back shortly with live QBL action presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower, heading into the final quarter of action. It's a 17-point lead for the Brisbane Capitals over the Gold Coast Rollers, 77-60. Gold Coast has to make a hot start to this quarter here, Dave, if they want to steal this one from Brisbane.
Well, they really do. I think they've got a few minutes to make a stand, and Brisbane's been really good tonight and doing the little things. They're playing good defense without fouling. And then they're making the Gold Coast foul on the other end.
What's happening in the statistics, Dave?
Pretty similar themes to the half time. Brisbane +8 on the rebounds.
Eustace can't get the roll.
And one good thing that Brisbane has done too, Johnny. 6 turnovers in the first, only 2 in the next 2 quarters. So they've done a really good job of looking after the ball.
Basket interference there, so Job will get credited for 2 points, cutting the deficit to 15. Looks like a bit of zone here from the Gold Coast. Kadee skips it over. Stoddart's open from the wing. 3-pointer up and short. Tipped around. Petrie grabs it for Gold Coast. Kicks ahead for Salicic. Captain of the Gold Coast Rollers gets his feet at the free throw line. Dumps it off for Petrie. Layup is off. It's about the 3rd or 4th layup we've seen the Gold Coast miss tonight. Kadee guarded by Christian Salicic. Gets the screen from Venus. Finds Venus rolling inside for Magnay. Little hook shot is good there from Magnay. Love that high-low action. We've seen that a few times from Brisbane.
Yeah, they've been a really good job.
Martin, step-back jumper up. Well off again. Stoddart grabs it. Got to give a shout-out to James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network checking in on the YouTube channel. James, thanks for all your help and all the beautiful graphics we see here tonight. As Stoddart drains another deep one. Pushes the lead out to 20 for Brisbane.
Yeah, Rose and Parker, no sign of them, Johnny, which is what I think they should be. That's what they're here for.
Petrie is fouled. Let's see who they give this one to. It's going to go against Lockie Venus, and as you say that, Spencer Parker gets off the bench and checks into the game for Jared Eustace.
Well, Parker's been pretty decent. 16 points. Rose has 8, Johnny, and 6 assists as well. But other than that, Salicic 9, Reece Martin 10, Diop 8. Just been a little bit quiet from the Goldie.
And Brisbane has had Aaron Anderson carrying them for a while and Jason Kadee. Good ball movement. Cobby Wilson 3 is too strong. It's tipped around. Stoddart grabs it after a tip from Magnay. Kadee, pass is stolen. Parker up ahead to Martin. Martin goes in and lays it in. Probably the easiest bucket of the night for the Rollers. They trailed by 18 points with 7:30 left in the game. Kadee gets inside, leaves his feet. Stoddard steps out of bounds.
It's the second time Stoddard's done that tonight.
Timeout on the floor taken here by head coach Mick Conlon. We're going to take a quick one as well. 7:23 to go in this one. 82-64 the lead for the Capitals over the Gold Coast Rollers in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. John Guarna, Dave Derwin, Regan Baker, also Chris Sieber, as always, doing some amazing work for us on the camera, and also James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network down in Sydney, providing us with all of our graphics and technical support. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you are watching us on YouTube, drop us a note in the comments. Let us know you're watching so we can get you a shout out as the Gold Coast Rollers look to cut this 18-point deficit off a timeout from Coach Conlon. Rose skips it inside for Diop. Can't finish because he's fouled by Kobe Wilson. Good foul there by Wilson, and a nice look from Rose to Diop.
Yeah, good execution from the Gold Coast. Stoddard's done a good job so far, Johnny. 9 points off the bench in 11 minutes.
He's done a good job defensively as well. I think he's really held himself well.
Yeah.
Diop at the free throw line for a couple. TJ Diop yet again representing the Australian Indigenous All-Stars, picking up a silver medal in the World Indigenous Championships. Yeah. Shout out to head coach Joel Kalu, good friend of us here at Nothing But Net Media.
Yeah, and JC Borg was on the watching before. Jace assisted in that crew.
Here is Stoddard off a Magne screen. Left-handed layup is good from Stoddard. Hits double figures and increases the Caps' lead to 19. Rose floater is good, plus the foul. Had Stoddard on his hip, left his feet.
He did.
And that's the foul.
He didn't do a lot wrong, but Rose just create the contact, make the referee make a call.
LJ Rose going to go to the line for a three-point play opportunity. His team down 17, 6:39 left in this one, Dave. You never want to say it's too late, but the clock's certainly not in Gold Coast favor.
Yeah, they can't just keep trading buckets. They need to make a stand. Down 17 here.
Kadee guarded by Parker. Looking for a screen from Magne. Keeps his dribble alive, swings the ball now. Stoddard's in the corner. He's going to fire a corner three. It's up. Rolls home for Nick Stoddard. Young fella's feeling it.
Absolutely.
He stepped up now. It's at different points tonight throughout the evening. A different Cavs player has stepped up, and at the moment it's Nick Stoddard.
Yeah. Well, Brisbane Junior went to Southwest last year. A little bit of burn. Came back this year.
Parker puts it back, plus the foul. Spencer Parker trying to get himself going and try and get his team on his back. They're down 18. Aaron Anderson going to get set to check back in. Anderson going to check in for Jason Kadee. Kadee going to get a breather. And Parker at the line for a three-point play opportunity. It's good. Team Gold Coast down 17 now. 6 minutes to go in this one. Stoddart swings it. It winds up with Anderson on the left wing. He's going to fire a three. It's short. Gets his own rebound and gets right to the rim to lay it up and in.
Little sneak attack on the offensive glass. He looks like he's got the dynamicness back too, John. Remember late last year he had the ankle, and he looks really sharp.
Anderson definitely looking good. His team's up 19. Hesitates, leaves his feet out to Wilson from the wing. It's up. Front of the rim, no good. Parker grabs the rebound. Parker going to bring it up court for Gold Coast. Goes to the left-hand layup, is up, no good. Job tips it up and in. You see a lot of veterans from the bench in the Gold Coast having a chat. They're going to call a technical foul on the Gold Coast bench. Petrie as well shaking his head.
Well, with my little coaching hat on, there's a whole lot of contact. And it's, you know, two guys get hit, but always tough to make the call.
Yeah, I got to ask you, Regan, because it's always, I find that to be one of the tougher calls to make in the game, where the shot is clearly gone up before there's the contact. So how do you determine when it is a foul and when to keep playing?
It's really tough, and especially in situations like that as well, because when it's all well and good for us to stand here and evaluate it after the fact, but in the moment it is really tough for the referees. And in that situation there, personally, I don't believe the defense did anything wrong. So there was a lot of contact, but the defensive player was in front. He was up straight. He's jumped up. A lot of contact, but there was nothing illegal about what the defense was doing. And yeah, it can absolutely be frustrating. So no blaming the Gold Coast bench for arcing up. And that one there, 100% is on them. The first one, yeah, a lot of contact. It gets a little bit heated. To continue on 30 seconds later and lead to the second technical foul, that's just plain unnecessary.
Yeah, there was a second bench tech delivered to the Gold Coast bench. So Anderson hits both technical free throws, and Brisbane has possession, up 19 with 5:11 to go. And thank you for that breakdown, Regan. Regan Baker, longtime QBL referee, now producer, commentator, and man of many talents. Here is Stoddart. He's feeling it, keeping the dribble alive. Finds Volkman. Volkman out to Kobe Wilson. Fires that wing three. That one doesn't fall. Eustace, strong rebound, and he's going to bust out for Gold Coast. Goes right at the defense. Throws it up. No good. Tipped around. There's going to be a foul. That one's going to go against Thalo Green. I believe that's his fifth foul. And that one, I don't know what the bench is complaining about. Volkman had great position. Green clearly came over the back of him with a lot of contact. I think it's just a frustration of the game.
I think that's called down 19.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate foul to get your fifth, but like you said, it was quite clearly over the top and definitely a call that needed to be made, but just unfortunate that it is Green's fifth foul.
Anderson in the corner for Wilson, working on Salicic. Out to Stoddart, guarded by Rose. Reverse layup, no good. There's definitely a foul there. His job tried to challenge the shot. So Nick Stoddart being super aggressive here tonight. I like what I see out of the young fella this evening.
He's got a really nice feel to his game, a little old school, just really crafty guy, and doing a really good job, explosive on that left to right crossover, or go into his offhand as well. But again, Goldie's got to do a better job of containing their guy, keep him out of the middle, and not a whole lot of help.
Stoddart hits them both. Capitals creeping to that triple-digit mark. They're up by 21 now, 93-72. At 1-2-2, we see a bit of a show from Brisbane as job blocked by Magne. Anderson down in the back end play. Looks like he may have tweaked.
Oh, no, he's okay. He's just telling him to wipe the floor, yeah.
All right. Thought it was an injury, thankfully. I love Aaron Anderson, one of my favorite QBL players. So good to see him back out there healthy as he fires the wing three. No good.
They dodged the bullet. Diop, he showed, and then he left him.
Here comes Jake Davis for his first action of the night. The 4-minute mark, 4 minutes left in the fourth. Gold Coast down 93-72. Here comes a bit of pressure. Gold Coast breaks it easy. Parker getting aggressive, going right at the defense. Layup is good.
Wow.
Rim contact came after the ball went in.
Probably a little unlucky not to get an M1. Good take.
It's kind of hard as a coach, Dave. You know, when you coach, you always talk to the referees because you want your team to get a call as Davis hits his bucket, but it almost sometimes will work against you on it if you're talking too much to the referees.
Yeah, for sure, and especially when I'm down 19, you know, and you're in absolute frustration mode, you just move on because it'll be the same referees in the next couple of weeks. And if you keep on.
Anderson resetting the Brisbane offense, gets it to Magne, gets it back from Magne. Anderson dumps it off for Volkman. Little miscommunication there from Volkman and Anderson. A couple of subs. Lockie Venus going to check back in. Zach Carter as well for Brisbane. Checking in for the Gold Coast first time tonight, Jesse Lomax. LJ Rose going to get a breather. So Parker looking to pick up a head of steam. He'll fire and hit a three. 95-78. Here's Anderson, gets the screen from Venus. Over to Carter. Now Stoddart, wing three is good. Nick Stoddart having the best game of his QBL career here tonight. He's on fire. His team's up 20. Grabs a defensive rebound. How many does Stoddart have here, Dave?
Well,
19, I think.
Yeah. Volkman might have to give up his super sub status and hand it over.
Carter, top of the key three. That's well off. Parker grabs it for the Gold Coast. We're under 2 minutes to go here. Salicic going to fire his own three. That rolls in and out. Tipped around. Who comes up with it? Nick Stoddart. This guy's got bunnies. He's just going to lay it in. Come on, Nick. Stick your game up, man.
And the Capitals.
Give us something. The crowd wanted it. You let us down.
The Capitals crowd rightfully give him a little boo.
I thought he had the bunnies, Dave.
Yeah.
What's up?
He can.
Yeah, it's a bit of respect. I don't mind that. Just casually laying it in. You don't want to go for the big hammer and rim it out, do you?
Well, of course you do. 21 for Stoddart off the bench.
Yeah, huge
on,
effort for
7
Nick
and
Stoddart.
9 shooting.
And I reckon if we look at his statistics heading into the third, I mean, he wasn't going too bad. I think he was at 6 points heading into the fourth. He's at 21 now, so a 15-point fourth for Nick Stoddart. And I think that that's the story of the game here. I think, Dave, you talk about bench action. The bench from Brisbane yet again doing a great job, led by Volkman and Stoddart.
Well, they would, and we talked about it in the pregame. The rest of them scored shot 13%, which isn't going to get it done. But don't have the stats in front of me so far, but they've done a really good job as far as bench production.
And I think Brisbane did a really good job tonight also, defending Rose and Parker, keeping them pretty quiet and keeping the entire Gold Coast team in check. I thought defensively really is where Brisbane impressed me today. Yeah,
they were really good. I mean, holding Gold Coast to 45% field goal percentage is a decent effort, but again, they defended well without giving them free throws.
I thought they rebounded pretty well too, Dave. The rebounding numbers for Brisbane looking pretty good as Carter gets the lay-in, but I think a lot of the difference was when Brisbane missed the shots, they were able to when Gold Coast missed, Brisbane rebounded a little bit better and probably a little more active on the offensive glass as well.
Yeah.
Job gonna checking in is Harry Kerr. Don't forget, folks, we will have the women's game for you shortly after the conclusion of this men's game. So Lomax swipes it out of bounds. And we will have the Gold Coast Rollers next weekend for you. We're going to head down to the Gold Coast for the first time in a few years. We'll be down there as they take on Rockhampton. The women's game tips at 1. The men's game will follow at 3 p.m. That will be live for you on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel. Really looking forward to getting down there, Dave. I've never been to a game, actually, at Carrara, and I know it's recently been upgraded as well.
Yeah, the old roller dome. And, GM Trigger said he had the 10 best players in the QBL right last week. No, I'm joking. But obviously,
well, he did say that. He did. He did.
Obviously, Trigger thinks he's put a good group together. So that'll be really good to see that Rocky team for the first time this year.
And Gold Coast going to drop this one. They're down 20 with a minute to go. Some pretty good things, though, we saw at Gold Coast tonight as well. I think they have some promising signs. It's a fairly new group, and it takes a while to gel, no matter how many games you have in the preseason.
Yeah, and equally, I'm really excited to see how Gold Coast can bounce back, back home against this loss.
Good active hands. Davis gets the steal. 105-82, Brisbane up. Stoddart back to Carter. He'll fire another three. He's feeling it. Back-to-back threes for Zach Carter. 108-82 now, Brisbane up. As Eustace fires one. Gets the roll. It touched everything
possible.
Everything
legally.
Oh, sorry, 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Rocky. Early games due to flights. Okay, thank you for the Gold Coast Basketball Association letting us know. Oh, no, Zach Carter rolls his ankle there. Looks to be in a bit of pain. Let's hope that he's going to be okay.
That's another tech on Coach Conlon. Is that Gonski?
That'll be gone, yeah. So 3 bench technical fouls, or a combination of 3 technical fouls across the bench and the coach is an ejection. So coach himself can have 2 technical fouls and it's an ejection. If there's 1 coach and 2 bench, or 3 bench, it is an ejection for the coach.
And I do want to just reiterate that we weren't made aware of the change to next weekend's live stream, so we'll have to update the graphics and also our YouTube setup. But the games next Sunday for you will be at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. As the women's tip. At 12, the Rollers versus the Cyclones, followed by the men at 2 p.m. The Rollers taking on the Rockets. And let's hope Zach Carter's all right. We know he has had some ankle issues previously. He rolled his ankle on that last one there. Walking off on his own, a bit of a limp, but he'll get a bit of treatment, and let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, he just was hit a couple too, so he didn't shoot the ball very well last week, so it was good to see him making a couple of shots, starting to feel a bit better about his own shot, and then unfortunately went out and rolled his ankle. Coach Conlon got ejected in case, in the middle of all that.
Yeah, picked up a a technical foul. Regan gave us the breakdown on why he was ejected. Stoddard has it. He'll fire a deep 3. It's off. Battling for the rebound is Kopskis. He'll put it in. 110 now for Brisbane. They're up by 25. Let's see if Parker gets a shot off. He'll flip one up and in. They're going to count that bucket. So the final score, 110-87. Another impressive performance from the Brisbane Capitals, Dave. And we weren't really sure what to expect from Brisbane heading into this season. Similar group, new head coach, new playing style. I have to say, after 2 games, the Capitals look pretty good, Dave.
No, they do, absolutely. And they didn't shoot the ball overly well last week, but they shot the ball pretty good this week. 110 points on the board is you're going to win most games in this league, scoring that many. They did a good job. Gold Coast battled a couple of times to come back, but Brisbane answered every time, so a really solid win from the Caps tonight.
Yeah, and it was a well-balanced attack for the Brisbane Capitals. We saw Stoddart get hot there in the 4th. We saw Aaron Anderson at times heating up, Jason Kadia as well. I like what I saw from Brisbane tonight because they have such a well-balanced attack, and I thought they were particularly strong defensively.
Yeah, they really will. As we talked about a couple of times, defending the ball well without fouling. They did a good job of getting free throws in the first half, which established basically the win for them. So really good win for the Brisbane. Gold Coast back to the drawing board, have an opportunity to play Rocky next Sunday. So that'll be a really interesting game.
Yeah, and Gold Coast sitting at 2-1. Caps moved to 2-0. Really impressive performance. So a couple of positives for the Gold Coast. I think Reese Martin was pretty good tonight. Parker certainly looks promising. I do expect them to, I'm sure they're expecting to get more from veterans like Anthony Petrie, and also LJ Rose I thought was pretty good, but I'd like to see him probably be a little more aggressive when we see them next weekend.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. I mean, they shot the ball okay, 47%, but as you say, Peach, excuse me, only 2 points. TJ 13, Reese Martin 12, Thalo 7, LJ Rose 10. So they needed a little bit more from those guys.
Yeah, and we have to take a look at that foul count, Dave, because we did mention it at halftime, and it certainly obviously was an issue for the Gold Coast. I think that's where a lot of the frustration came in, and a few of those technical fouls came out of that frustration. Let's look at that foul count for both teams.
Well, it wasn't too bad in the end. It was 23-17, the Gold Coast. So, but the fouls, they had 22 to 2, I think, in the first half. So 5 more free throws for Brisbane, 8 more for Gold Coast. They improved, let's say, and but again, too many free throws that they allowed Brisbane.
It was a great game. We're going to wrap things up. I do have to thank my co-commentator, Dave Derwin, and also my other co-commentator / producer / man of many hats, Regan Baker. I want to thank Chris Sieber on the camera, as always, and of course I have to thank James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network, and also I can't forget to thank Wayne Moore here for looking after us here at NAB Stadium in Auckland Flower. So that does it for us here for the men's game. 110-87 the win for the Capitals over the Rollers, but don't go anywhere. We'll come back shortly with the women's game between the Capitals and the Rollers here live on Nothing But Net Media.